Administrative Secretary, Honorable Jeffrey Ruku, who is the Mbeere North Member of Parliament, and as well Honorable David Kiplagat, who is the Soi Member of Parliament. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, in a media interview, also talked about these. In fact, he said that if the regime wants to give him the Gen Zs, then he's ready to accept the Gen Zs, and he even believes they can make one a president. Listen in.
Yeah. Mambo ya Gen Z, hakuna mtu ajui pahali ilitoka. Ilitoka kwa sababu ya finance bill. Hizi demonstration ilikuwa katika 35 Oktoba. Kama watu ya Gen Z ni wa Rigathi Gachagua, mimi ni mwanasiasa ako na umaarufu sana. Hakuna mwanasiasa yeyote Kenya angetaka Gen Z kuwe nyuma yake. Kama wanataka kunipea Gen Z kuwe ni yangu, nimekubali. Gen Z is a big force. Ukiwa na Gen Z utakuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya asubuhi. Lakini ukweli ni kwamba na kila mtu anajua, hata ukiuliza wananchi, ile hasira ilikuwa na Wakenya ya finance bill. Na nilisema nikiwa Mombasa, nilitoa taarifa. Nikasema bona hatukusikiza Wakenya vile wanasema. Lakini mimi nimefurahi sana kwa sababu mahakama yetu ya Kenya ni nguvu. Hao watu yangu walikuwa wanataka kushikwa Friday, waangaishwe, wateswe bila makosa yoyote, ndio wapake mimi matope. Mahakama kuu ilisema hapana. Leteni kwanza hapa ushahidi kabla hamjashika hii watu, kabla hamjashitaki hawa. Kwa sababu rais wa Kenya alisema wenye kupanga hii maneno ni watu ya Ford Foundation. Ford Foundation inakuwaga Amerika. Ofisi ya Rigathi Gachagua iko pale Karen. Sasa mimi nauliza, watu yangu wanafanya kwa Ford Foundation. Rais ndio mwenye kusema, ndio wako na ushawishi mkubwa katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, na kile ametamka kila mtu anaamini iko namna hiyo. Rais mwenyewe alisema, si mko na hiyo habari ya kwamba wenye kupanga hii maneno ni watu ya Ford Foundation. Sasa wafanyikazi wa ofisi yangu wanafanya Ford Foundation, na ndio mahakama kuu ikasema hapana, hapa iko dosari. Kabla hujashitaki kabla hujashika hii watu usiwashike. Washtaki, leta ushahidi hapa, mahakama kuu iangalie kama iko ushahidi ya kutosha, wapelekwe kotini. Na mimi nakwambia hakuna ushahidi iko, hao ni watu ya ofisi yangu wananisaidia. Watahusikaje kwa mambo ya maandamano? Tena maandamano katika county 35 itapangwa na watu 35 counties katika Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na niulize maidara ya upelelezi, hii maneno yote ikipangwa katika 35 counties walikuwa wapi? Nafikiri ni mzuri tuheshimu Wakenya. Wakenya ni watu werevu, na tukifanya vitu zingine tuheshimu Wakenya. Tusioleshe Wakenya madharau. Wakenya ni watu werevu, hakuna kitu hawajui. Uliza hao majenzi, uliza wazazi wao. Walikuwa kila mtu natoka nyumbani, anapewa maji, anapewa fare. Hii ni kitu ilikuwa spontaneous ya kila mtu. Na ndio rais alisema okay, nimesikia. Na hata hii majenzi alikutana na hawa kwa X, akawasikiza. Ni kwa sababu alikubali ya kwamba walikuwa na something ambayo inataka isikizwe.
Zach, in a minute, just to respond to what the Deputy President has said. Several issues there. That first of all, it's parents who finance their children to go to the streets, not him.
Let me put it this way. Gen Z unrest was not a one-day affair. It was not a 25th June affair. It began way long. And this was due to entrenched disappointment from government's delivery and their promises. These things began long before. Gen Z was just a word, but there was deeply unsatisfactory air going around the country. Those people who say that there was nothing like Gen Z movement and there was nothing like a genuine protest should tell us, and I have always asked them. Obama's sister, Auma Obama, was here. She was in the streets holding water and flag for Kenya. And those people were only saying few things. Listen to us and Mr. President execute far-reaching reforms in several matters that they said. And two, stop the finance bill. Because that's what they're saying. Stop this finance bill. So
Gen Z is back Gachagua?
Gen Z, they would do what?
Back Gachagua.
Back him for what? They are not voting for impeachment?
Perhaps the presidency.
No, they also wanted him to go home. He's only twisting that and indicting his boss. Gen Zs want him to go home. And they have said this very clearly. He should go home. They have said the entire government should go home. Gachagua is only trying to hit the head of his boss. And he knows this is nonsense. But Gen Z's issues were very clear. Some the president had. Some he's still dilly-dallying about. And we are yet to see whether he will do all of these things. But this is it. What was Gen Z? Gen Z was a deep cry for Kenyans to get value for their taxes, to have a government that listens to them, and to have a parliament that enact laws that are pro-people. That was all about Gen Zs. He should stop politicizing this matter.
Honorable, you know, Gachagua, with his 5 allies now facing an arrest and also arraignment in court over funding the Gen Z demos, clearly Gachagua is trying to clear their names as far as the whole matter is concerned. Is DCI being used for political purposes?
I think DCI is not being used. They have conducted their investigation, proper investigation, which have found grounds that which can stand, evidence which can stand in a judicial or justice administration system or country within our justice administration system. So I don't think what DCI has unearthed is mere fabrication or mere witch hunt. We are aware, and everybody knows, it's an open secret, that there are some criminal elements within the country.
So he asked how the 35 individuals influenced 35 counties, and he believes the Gen Z demos were spontaneous. They were not funded. It was not only Nairobi. In fact, 2 MPs are from Nairobi, that is Embakasi North and Embakasi Central, Gakuya and Major Donk. And 2 former MPs, Nyeri Town and Embakasi West. So how they finance demos in the rest of the entire 35 counties?
That's not the case, Chacha. If you are conflicted, that you have selfish interests, that you have personal demands which are not met, and then a situation arises, you take advantage of that situation to push your point, your selfish point, so that you can be given whatever you are demanding from the president, from the government you serve. That is where the criminality comes from. We are not saying, and there is nobody who is claiming, that this accused one organized demonstration in 35 counties. We are saying that there are some people who infiltrated demonstration and used it to turn it around to be criminal within probably Nairobi. I don't know.
Honorable Kiplagat, the timeliness of the DCI seeking approval from the DPP, and the DPP, of course, approving the 3 charges, that is conspiracy to commit felony, money laundering, and incitement. Gachagua, when the DCI actually wrote to the DPP, said that the case is being used to create grounds for his impeachment. So is the DPP and DCI being used to settle political scores?
Maybe before I even go to what you have just asked about the DCI, there is a statement that the Deputy President has made that is rather overzealous and sounds as juvenility in terms of politics. You know, when you say that there is a constituency called Gen Z that can support you to become a president in Kenya, I think you lose the mark. I can tell you, Chacha, the customs and the traditions of the way Kenyans vote will apply in 2027 and will apply in 2032. So if you are trying that there was a spark at some moment which can translate into votes in 2027, that is now your Waterloo. May I say this? If you look at the young tax of the 1991, the James Orengo, Bol Muite, Kitobo Imanyara, and the clique, they actually vote for multipartism to remove the Section 2A. And they were so so excited after succeeding that they actually nominated James Orengo as their presidential candidate. But I can tell you, you can see the results. The results were James Orengo and Mukaru Ng'ang'a were in the same WhatsApp group. Of
criminalizing now
no,
the,
may I say,
the institutions.
May I say,
the
Mukaru Ng'ang'a kura moja, James Orengo kura mbili, and that is it. You that is a spark that is in transition that you cannot say that you will use it as a basis of 2027. If Rigathi is trying to launch his campaign under the platform of Gen Zs, I think he needs to change his advisors very seriously, and he needs to hire one of my caliber. I can be able to advise him well. Now, having said that, the issue of investigation started long time ago, and investigation is a process. And that process has reached a point whereby the DPP has given a nod that after thorough investigations, they have found out that such and such persons who might be closer to the deputy president were actually involved in the sponsorship and organizing the Gen Z's demo.
So DCI and DPP have not been weaponized to find Gachagua.
It's just an investigation that started a long time ago.
There was also another ground for impeachment that is believed actually will be part of the reasons to want to remove Gachagua. That is on tribalism, that Gachagua has been self-centered or has appeared to be a regional deputy president. And this is what he said on tribalism, the accusations on tribalism. Listen in.
Ni mimi kuketi chini na rais na kusema yetu tulikupigia kura. Hizi viti ni kujaribu, nimejaribu. Mimi napigania kila siku appointments kuja kwetu, na mimi nimejaribu sana, na ndio nasikia wabunge wengine wakisema ati niko na blackmail. Ulisikia mbunge wengine huko Rift akisema huyu mtu hatosheki. Ulisikia mjumbe hapa Laikipia akisema huyu Gachagua shida yake ako kwa meza anakula sahani imejaa, anasema leta ingine na ingine na ingine. It's a good accusation. Hiyo si alikuwa anaongea mambo ya chakula, ni mimi kutetea watu wetu na kusema tupate hii, tupate hii, tupate hii. Na ndio nasikia mimi nikipigwa ati nilisema shares, because hiyo maneno nilikuwa naongea. What I meant is wale watu ambaye tuliunga rais mkono, hata sisi tupate haki yetu. Na hapo mimi ndio nimekuwa nikipigania. Kwa hivyo mtu kuaccuse mimi, hiyo vita hakuna mtu mwingine anawezana naye, ni mimi. Kwa sababu mimi nasema sisi tuko hapa, tulichangia kiwango kikubwa sana hii serikali kupatikana. Tunataka tukue represented proportionately to our support for this government.
So wanakuita mkabila.
Ndio naitwa mkabila. So ndio mimi nashindwa na watu wananiita mkabila, ni watu wetu. Sasa mimi nauliza ndugu yangu, wabunge anasema huyu hapigani sisi. Nikipigana wabunge wetu ndio wanaongoza kusema mimi ni mkabila. Hii ukabila umesikia nikiambiwa mimi ni mkabila. Si nikuambiwa ati mimi natetea watu ya Mount Kenya sana. How then do you accuse me of tribalism at the same time say I'm not doing enough for the community? It's very unfair to me. It's very, very unfair. The little that I have done, effort ile mimi nimeweka, ndio inafanya niitwe mkabila. Then wajumbe wetu wamekuwa poisoned. Our own MPs from our region kusema me I'm a tribalist, I only think about Mount Kenya, mimi nasema Mount Kenya ipate. Then wanarudi kuja kusema tunataka kujitenga, huyu watetei sisi. Hata wewe unaona that argument does not make sense. Because hii ukabila ninapiganiwa, inaambiwa ni mkabila ni nini? Why do they say I'm a tribalist?
Kwa sababu unafaa kuwa deputy president wa the whole nation.
But what do I do? What do they accuse me of doing?
Yeah.
Wana accuse me kufanya nini ndio waseme mimi ni mkabila?
But kuna
mimi nasema what kabila wana accuse mimi ile ukabila. What reasons do they give for calling me?
Zach, he's putting a spirited fight to clear his name on tribalism. Is that enough? Does it clear the perception that is a
No, he's making things worse and exposing his folly. Because if you listen to what he's claiming, I come from Mount Kenya like Mheshimiwa Ruku, okay? Coming from Mount Kenya on its own should not make you as a leader claim preeminence in the national table. If this is a man talking about Mbere North and he's talking about Soy, his people are happy to hear him because they are the one who sent him. But Deputy President was not sent by Mount Kenya people on the table of national leadership. He was sent by the nation. When will he speak about coast people? When will he speak about northeastern people? When is he going to speak about western? When is he going to speak about Somalis, northeastern? When is he going to speak about Kamba people as a deputy president? So what he's doing, he's blackmailing the voters of Mount Kenya to see him as a defender Leviathan who is fighting for them. But on the contrary, he's fighting Mount Kenya interest. The people who have been gotten out of government from the PSS level all the way, some he ordered, and those evidences are there. Because he doesn't want to work with some people, so what he does is say, clear them away. The work he was given for Mount Kenya by the president himself, which should have made him a tribal loved leader, should have been the coffee, the tea, the miraa, the cat, and the milk. If he had delivered on these things, and then he's being faulted for delivering on these things and forgetting about cashew nuts in Coast, or forgetting about hides and skins in Masai land, then people would say he's being accused for helping his people. But has he? To him, tribalism, to him, he's using tribalism to elevate himself as a negotiator, and he's a tribalist indeed. By the way, he's a tribalist. He is using this to blackmail the president, the government, the Mount Kenya masses, to see him as a defender of their interests.
Honorable Ruku and Honorable Kiplagat, 30 seconds each to respond to the, Gachagua has put a spirited fight there on matters of tribalism. What do you have to say about that?
I was...
and by the way, he's saying you cannot say those words while in the Mount Kenya region.
I don't know whether you normally get my conversation when I am in my area, Better North. For instance, on Sunday, on Saturday, you can see me saying some of those things with my people. What I want to say, Chacha, is that you are holder of a very serious office. You go to Bungoma and you start saying you have come with greetings from the people of Mountain. You are the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, for heaven's sake.
Honorable Kiplagat, on resignation, on actually tribalism, sorry.
I think listening to the Deputy President, my advice to him, he needs to listen to himself. He needs to rewatch what he's saying, because I doubt whether he knows that he's the Deputy President, a symbol of national unity, voted by Kenyans. What we have, unless the Deputy President is assuming that we have also so many other regional Deputy Presidents that he has been sent there to only talk about the mountain and nothing else. Otherwise,
on this panel,
what he has just said, that is the only offense that is impeachable.
On this panel, there have also been calls for Gachagua to resign. This is what Gachagua had to say about the calls for him to resign as the Deputy President.
Si ambaye hujajipea huwezi kujitoa. Ile kazi mimi nafanya kama naibu wa rais nilipewa na Wakenya 7.2 million Kenyans. Na mpaka wa sasa sijasikia Mkenya wote ameniambia ya kwamba nimeshindwa na kazi, kwa hivyo natakiwa kujiuzuru. Na kwa hivyo siwezi kujiuzuru kwa sababu sikujipatia kazi nilipe.
Zach, even as we wind up 30 seconds each, on resignation, he's not resigning, by the way.
He should listen to himself. One, the Deputy Presidency, the Deputy President is not elected. The Deputy President is selected by the presidential candidate and therefore assumes an office as the Deputy President. And that is why, because he is not elected, he is only selected. He has only two roles in the Constitution. The first role is to be the principal assistant, really a PA to the President. And number two, to undertake roles as the president may give him. So what the Deputy President should know is if he was a man of dignity, he would have resigned today.
Thank you. Honorable Ruku.
We need to unify our nation. Unity is key for development, for economic growth of any nation. Any senior person in government which is bringing disunity must be dealt with. We have seen countries coming down because of promoting regional interests.
Thank you.
Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has championed politics of one single region again and again. Kenya is one united, indivisible nation.
Thank you. Honorable Kiplagat.
You'll give me like a minute.
30 seconds, can we're completely out of
What
time.
I want to say is that looking at where we are, we need to amend this constitution as soon as possible. And the proposals that we are proposing to amend, one, is to remove the idea of deputy president, give it a vice president that is actually appointed by the president during the appointment of the cabinet. Secondly, is to remove this 50+1 idea that is nearly tipping this country into chaos.
Well.
Thirdly, is to make sure that we actually inculcate our bad behavior. Bad behavior is to have the prime minister in the constitution, to have the leader of opposition in the opposition. So I'm proposing that before we go to the next poll in 2027, what we need is a referenda so that we can define a constitution that actually takes our cultures and the bad behavior so that we don't do anything outside the constitution.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable David Kiplagat. He's the Soy Member of Parliament. Honorable Geoffrey Ruku is the Mbere North Member of Parliament, and as well Zach Kinuth, their former Chief Administrative Secretary. For the interest of time, I'll not be able to sample some of your feedback, but it has been a conversation on the state of the nation, more specifically focusing on the impeachment motion against the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. My name is Joel Chacha. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Good day.